entrepreneurs and business owners also make that kind of commitment. Because I want to welcome to the stage a friend of mine from San Diego, Tom Rose, and we're going to bring you on here in 1 second. Now, check this out, Gillen, okay? If you've been wanting to understand more about astrology, more about flow, more about ease, more about how to create abundance in your life, you guys want to stay tuned in for this. But you guys know the drill. First and foremost, if you like content where we're sharing how you can transform your life, how you can transform your business, then the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you're either subscribed to the channel on YouTube or you're subscribed to our podcast here, okay? We don't want you to ever miss anything. Now, if you are part of the live audience that loves seeing me live and loves being able to ask my guest questions live, then you guys want to make sure that you are subscribed to Instagram as we go live on Instagram to record these episodes every single time we have one. I have Ricky Ty on right now. Now, you guys know how it goes. Hey, there she is.
I'm on live now with Marshal. Yes.
Yes, you are. Now tell us, is this like you go live often on any platforms, or is this something a little bit different for you?
Instagram is different. I've been using StreamYard, which goes to multiple platforms through one little portal. So this is new. I'm also streaming on my YouTube channel at the same time. So hopefully, so hopefully your audio is okay, but they definitely have my audio, so that's good.
That's awesome. Well, hey, hello to everybody on Todd's channel. It's such a pleasure to be here with you guys as well. Listen, it's interesting that you and I connected like this, and it's interesting because you want to talk about human design as well, which is something we're going to be talking about specifically today on human design and how we can use that to literally find more abundance and more flow in our life. But the part that's interesting, Todd, it's like I've been thinking about this, then the universe just like the universe like gets out of the way and they're like, oh, here's this person that can actually help you do this. And so I'm really excited to have you here today. I will say it's new for me to go live on Instagram too. I am trying to take advantage of it though because of Clubhouse. I've been tearing it up in Clubhouse lately. And Clubhouse links to this channel, so that's why. A lot of people in my channel don't know who you are. So could you give us maybe a short, and I got to think of a better way to intro this because it's the worst question. I hate when that. Tell us a little bit about yourself, but what is something that you want to share with the world, and why do you think it's important for you and I to have this conversation today?
Wow, to share with the world that this has been my life for so long. You know, I've been a yoga teacher since 1997. So
wow.
Yeah, so immersed in this whole transforming from the inside out has been my entire career, and I have not switched. I've been in it wholeheartedly full time since I started in 1997. So so any of that inner work, those processes, we think that there's a quick fix. There's not. It's always going to be unique to what your body needs and what you need. So over the course of my whole career, it's even more solid now. It's you. You are your guru. You are your self-care guide, teacher, all of that. It's not me. It's not anything outside. It's always inside.
I love that. And it's so interesting. 1997, I'm 36 now, and it's funny that you say 97 because I just asked my roommate last night. I was like, is it weird that 1997 seems like it was like 4 years ago, but literally it was like 24 years ago now?
24.
So weird that I'm at a point in my life where it started to be like that. But it's interesting, 1997. So I'm going to guess now that you were probably ahead of the curve to what most mainstream people would come into the fold with yoga and really doing that inner engineering. And I know I was late to the party. And so I have a very business-focused audience, and I titled, and I want to get into this a little bit, but I titled this show, Millionaires Don't Use Astrology, Billionaires Do. Because I know that right off the bat, if I tell my audience, oh, we're talking about human design and inner engineering, although a lot of people, they feel like they're ready for more of that, the stigma around, doing inner work or being still or being mindful is still kind of like, it's got this like dippy woo-woo feeling to it.
Yeah.
And so what do you say to people who are my audience, or somebody who's very business focused, somebody that's been like me, very performance based, I gotta work, do. What would you say to my audience listening to why the conversation we're about to have is so important when it comes to understanding how to engineer inside out. What are most people?
Oh, you froze. Darn. Oh, there you go. You're back. Yeah, you're back. So, you know what? Diving right into the human design philosophy and the core meaning behind your sacral response will get you that answer. You know, because rephrase the question again, just really concise. The question was like, how do you redirect and find the path? Is that to the inner self?
Well, no. So I guess this is the question. I'll give you a little context now, and that's an excellent question. Let me clarify what I'm saying. I grew up very blue collar, and I was taught in Middle America, obviously, go to college, get a job, you'll be happy, die, make your kids a little bit of something, be a good person, right? And so I was taught that if I go and I have business and I make a lot of money and I help a lot of people, then I'll be super happy. Except 2019 came along and I was making more money than I ever made. I was living in San Diego. I was doing all the things that I thought were going to be awesome. And I had never been more miserable, more unhappy, and more unfulfilled in my entire life. I tried to kill myself when I was 23, which is a traumatic year. But even 2019 was even worse than that because it was like this hopelessness. Like, I did all the things you told me to do, and I still didn't get it right. And so now I'm in my castle, so to speak, and I'm just miserable. I mean, supremely miserable. And I accidentally stumbled across human design in April, right? Accidentally. I accidentally stumbled across human design around early 2019. And I started to do some research, and one question led to another. And I started to understand that this human design and actually becoming aware that our body is a tool. It's like a computer. We learn how to hack into that system through these ancient technologies, I like to call them. Now we're starting to be able to. I have never been at such flow and abundance in my life as I am now, and I attribute it to that first moving the needle, which was human design. So
Wow.
What would you say to a business person who may be listening to this, who hears me drone on all the time? Why is this so important to understand yourself from the inside out?
Right. Human design, if we're going to go delve right into your type, there are 4 different types of auric fields, and to know what your energy is about. And for you as a manifesting generator, your sacral response is the most important way to guide your trajectory. So when you're not listening to that and you're being conditioned by the mind, I have your chart right here. It's just like wide open mind when you're being conditioned, like, I got to do this, I should do this. And blue collar family, I got to perform, I need to prove myself. All of that gets lost in the mechanics of the sacral. The sacral helps you, if you tune into it, it's a motor. If you tune into it, you're going to go into the right direction. So out of the mind, into the body, like all of the Eastern, yogic philosophy, meditate, find that inner sound.
So let's start up for a second. For some people who may not understand, on my channel, what is the sacral?
So the centers in the body, it is the part of the chakra system, right? And in human design, there is this deep central place for all of us, actually, that resonates fertile, creative, building. It's the Shakti of the planet. So it's inside of us. It's inside of us. Yeah, I get so excited.
I know, and I do too. And it's something I don't ever dive into enough with my audience because it's just not something that we ever talk about in business, but it's been so transformational to me. And so for anybody that may be listening who's like, oh, here we go talking about chakras, I will just preface it by saying this. One is we have an expert online who's going to share a ton of things right now today. But for those in my audience, for those of you who are still going, what are chakras? What is this? What is that? I want to explain to you. See, you guys can see that that's my human design chart that she's about to share with us. In our body, you guys know that we're just made up of energy. Like that's not. There's nothing Google about that. Like science proves, we're all just cells, and those cells they have vortexes. And so our body has basically like a meridian or a line that runs through it. You guys, these energy centers or chakras that are throughout our body. So that's what what you're talking about.
Yes, and experientially for you, we can ask you a question. What is it sound like? Because it should resonate. Yes. You know, I want to go towards that. I want to move towards that. Or you know, repulsion, almost, I got to go in a different direction. This isn't right for me. So the sacral response gets atrophied. People can't recognize it, don't know what it feels like. What are you talking about? I'm supposed to listen to the inner sound? I don't know what that is. How do I respond? So the question might be, how did you discover your inner sound and decide to listen to it? And
It's interesting. Yeah, I promise you, I'm going to ask you a lot more high-level questions because I know what we're about to talk about. I just got to get my audience set up a little bit, and I'll share with this. It's so crazy now. It's not crazy. My soul was just becoming a reflection of my external world, right? Our internal thoughts and feelings are our external reality. And so for me, let me take a time. I want to answer Todd's question, but one last thing to preface the Gillen gang as we get into this. We're about to now dive into understanding how to interpret our individual bodies. So she's going to, based on some information I gave her, which we'll cover in a second, she is going to break down specifically for Marshal Gillen what my human design is. However, what you all should know is that human design has 4 different basically buckets that you can belong in, and within those buckets, you are all your individual person based on a number of things. And so why I titled this about astrology is because what I would invite you guys to understand is that the moment you were born, if you took a screenshot of the universe, all the planets, all the stars were tilted and positioned in a certain spot. And when you can understand how to reverse engineer from that blueprint to where the person's at now we're talking about being able to hack the system, about being able to gamify with life. And that's what Todd helps her clients do, different modalities. And so I'm about to start asking her a bunch of questions. Now, to answer your question, Todd, we're going to get into it, but now we'll enough preface. I've been a very healthy guy my whole life, but I had a severe, gnarly stomach thing in 2019 that came out of nowhere. I'm sure it was just an ulcer, but I never went and got, I'm a man. I didn't go get it checked out. I just Wikipedia'd it. Don't do that, Gillen gang. And so it's interesting because I was so out of alignment. I can look back now and understand that I was being a fraud based on portraying to the world what it was I actually wanted and not accepting. So the reason I'm in my car, the reason our internet's so bad is because I'm in the middle of Montana. Like, I have to drive. I have the best internet you can get in the cabin, but I still have to drive into town and try to get the internet here.
Wow.
But it resonated to my soul to unplug from the speaking world, unplug from San Diego, unplug from all that. I've been preaching all this stuff, but finally in 2019, my soul was like, all right, bro, if you're going to keep ignoring what I'm trying to tell you, then I'm going to take the one thing that you take for granted, your health. And all of a sudden, I thought I was dying of something terrible, and I woke right up. And I'm like, tell me what I need to learn, universe. And now with the last few years, what I've really done is surrender. I've surrendered to the universe, and I listen to that noise. I can't tell you how frustrating it was the last 2 years, though, when people go, you got to listen to the or the nuh-uh. And I'm like, can somebody tell me how to freaking hear that? Or
Yeah. So that is exactly it, because that is the biggest question, because on your, we share human design in 4 views. The first view is your type, right? And then what does your type say? It has a strategy. Like, what is the strategy? So there's this big word for manifesting generators and generators, which is needing to be deciphered, which is response. They're like, what the heck is response? So yeah, you get your human design chart, But if you don't understand the basic mechanics of how to listen and how to hear and how to retrain that inner sacral fertile force, then the human design has no benefit, has no meaning to you, because you're not living your inner truth. You're not living your true design. You're not being, you could look at, I have gate this, I have channel this, and I'm like doing all of, I have leadership channels, like you have a leadership channel. Absolutely. Very individual role model, here to be creative and here to lead us in a creative, new, empowered way. That is you. But if I have goosebumps, because if you're not listening to that inner trajectory, that inner sound, and you don't know how, then the first step in human design is like sacral training. Let's go to boot camp. Let's figure it out. Are you listening? Are you hearing it? Do you resonate to or do you?
Right.
Yeah. So
it's interesting that you say that, because from being the type of person that I am, I think like you nail it perfect. Just have the chart's not enough, because I went and got the chart, and just like everything else in business, it's a number thing. Show me the blueprint and I'll dominate it. And I got the human design thing, and I'm Googling, I'm YouTubing, and I couldn't understand it.
yeah.
And so this very mechanical, let's say, masculine energy of the world is trying to solve this thing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's this feminine energy inside me that I know now that's really trying to be heard, that's trying to come back to itself, that's trying to have compassion and love for itself. And I didn't understand that then. And so I love that you touched on that. Now let's get into this as far as it goes, because I've come this far, but I still feel there's resistance inside me somewhere still. And I don't really know what it is. And so I'm excited to dive into this chart and get some clarity, because there's still something, I'm so close, but there's something inside me I can feel is still telling me, bro, you're not, I don't know if you're being 100% honest. And I can't quite decipher it. So I'm excited to hear what you found, what this chart said.
Well, first of all, it's mechanics, right? So, so the story that you're telling yourself is some not self behavior. We call it in human design is not self behavior, or you're not living the body. You're not living the vehicle. You're not letting the vehicle guide you, because as a manifesting generator, if you truly and honestly let go of the mind and you just honor, where this sacral wants to take you, you will be fulfilled. You will have satisfaction. You will not meet frustration or resistance. It will be satisfying, truly satisfying. The opposite of frustration is satisfaction. So
I wonder what that is. Why that's the perfect word, is satisfaction. Like I'm happy. I love where I'm at in life. But when you say it like that, there's still something that's exactly what it is. I still feel unsatisfied, like in my core being. Like I'm nowhere where I was at, but if I'm being honest with my audience, not with you, like there is still something inside that feels very much unsatisfied. There is a longing inside of me. And so let me ask you this: could that voice that I'm denying, could it be something as simple as still not having the belief or love for myself? I mean, could it be that simple where I'm still denying myself, or is it something usually more than that?
What I would do now, if I were giving you a full reading, and I want to, but I want also to have everybody benefit, I would be going over every single white space in your chart. Okay, so let's show that again. See all those white spaces? Those are inconsistent energies in your body. Those are your wisdom places. Those are the places that you're here to go to school. You're learning in those areas. So it's only up to you to decide which of those areas is causing the discord. It's not me. I can't tell you which part of your inconsistent energies are. Yeah. So that's where, once you get the sacral, then you go, oh, okay, I got the sacral, but then I got all this other stuff, all this other wisdom, all this other learning. And it's those open spaces. It's the places that are white in your chart where you're gaining your wisdom. And so then I would go over every single one of those, and we would explore, you know, what the themes are on that and where they are on your chart and all of that stuff. So it's more.
That alone makes gives me almost so much more instant clarity to understand those white spaces are what I'm here, because the things that are lit up are like, that's what I'm the best at. Like,
yeah, you got this. You're a role model. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. And so, okay, so what is it that you can share about my design chart for somebody that's listening, or how can you make this beneficial for people that are?
I still want to, I think the first step, because there's 7 years of deconditioning, actually. Our cellular body changes and transforms in 7 years. You're a whole new person.
So I'm not even halfway down with this metamorphosis yet, but you're telling me.
Right.
Hey, let's go. Bring it on. I'm about it.
It's, yeah. So if I were to be coaching somebody through like response, go back to that question I asked you.
Yeah.
How have you discovered a little bit more ease and flow in listening to that sacral, you know?
Yeah. For me, you know, the answer to that question is if somebody would have told me 7 months ago I was going to be living in Montana, I was going to leave San Diego, I would have laughed in your face. I would have laughed at you. I'd be like, okay, Montana, okay. But I can't explain it. There was something in my being that was calling me to the wilderness. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a wilderness person.
Yeah.
And so the answer to that question is, when I got here to Montana, something shifted inside of me. And I've been able to spend more time out in nature, more time away from people, more time away from collective consciousness. And whatever people, you know, relate God to, God is your spirituality. To me, I found God in nature, which I now understand was really just a reflection of myself. Because if the universe is, if Earth is a representation, Gaia is my heart, and up here is the universe, it's as above, so below. Now I'm starting to understand why I feel so cool when I put my feet on the ground and I walk out and I'm staring at there's massive mountains right here, like in the middle of this town. What are we talking about?
You should show us. I want to see.
I'll show you guys part of it here. Let's check this out. Got the mountains down there,
wow.
down there, and it just goes all the way down. And so I'm out in northwestern Montana, literally right next to Glacier National Park. It's just absolutely gorgeous. But again, it was like, at first this started to be downloaded to your biohacking because I'm an athlete. So first it was like, well, fast and do cold water therapy. And so that's how it got into my system. And then once it started to change on the inside, all of my cells woke up. And they reminded me that I'm the universe, that we still know that I am God, that I'm the creator and creation. It's not to be blasphemous, it's to understand that I'm here to purge and to have these experiences so I can purge the duality within me, so I can return to the singularity, which is love, right? And I didn't know that until I got here. And so now to be able to understand, to take a look at this human design chart and to understand it even more, I'm like, it's blowing my mind, and I want to shout it to the top of the world. And I think I kind of get my answer actually as we start to talk through this, which is incredibly weird, and I have chills again. And I almost feel like I'm going to cry now. That's weird.
Oh, that's good. It's so good. It's that aha. It's that aha. So what I just got when you said the divine energy right where you are, well, that divine energy speaks through your sacral. So when you are listening to that, you are listening to the divine. So it's connection. It's connection. So we are primed. All of us are primed right now in this time, in this awakening time. The veil is thin. The veil is thin between the divine, and the divine is in us through the sacral sounds. And as a manifesting generator, your God frequency gets tuned higher and higher and higher, and then you're serving the best and the most satisfying life of service that you want. And you're here to be of service.
Oh man, yeah. Okay.
So that's why I keep stressing that. When you feel it, it is so powerful. I feel you. I feel you feeling it, and it's so contagious. And when you feel it, because of your chart, okay, And when you feel it, oh my gosh, we all feel it. It like transfers. It's like these channels that you have, you know, I have people on YouTube watching too. This is the, whoops, where we go. That red right here, all of that red, that is what I just felt. It is like in the moment, in the now. It's so connected to the sacral. It's all the way down to the sacral, to the most powerful gate, 34. So when you are connected to that frequency of divine sacral energy, we are all empowered with it as well. You're bringing it through to this place, to this material place. So
I don't know why it's making me so emotional right now. I've had this realization of like, regardless of how many people see this or listen to it, I just wanted to tell you thank you today for taking the time to spend with me. I'm realizing a very hard truth right now, and but like, you know, to anybody that might be watching this, and you guys see this in my eyes, like, I'm fine. I just think this is one of the most beautiful things about being alive, right? Like to truly find joy in the contrast, and what you're giving me, what's reflected back right now is just insane fear, but a clarity on what I think this misalignment has been inside. So we continue, but just I wanted to say thank you at the moment. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, and I am so drawn to complete this whole reading for you, and I don't mind doing it live if you don't mind, but I think
100%.
today that was enough. I think today that was enough information for you, and we'll do this next week. And I would love to do it on my platform so I could show you. Yeah, so you can come
100%.
in. Yeah.
Listen, girl. Anything. You just tell me where to show up, and,
All right.
and I'll be there. I am basically. What is today? Today Monday.
Yes.
Okay, if you want, we can do it next week by all means. If you want to do it later this week, we can. Gillen Gang, if you guys are following me on Instagram, which you all should be, make sure that you guys follow me my stories, because when we do decide to do part 2 of this, which obviously you guys just saw a lot of energy flow through me, and once we do part 2, I think it's going to be very beneficial. So we can decide that offline or right now, but I would love to do a part 2 with you. I got to know more. I think right now I'm about to go put my feet in the ground though and sit, but yeah.
Very, very good. And so I'm on Clubhouse also, and and I my intention this week was actually to do a room 11 o'clock on Wednesday, and to talk about the sacral response, and or even invitation for projectors, just the decision-making mechanism because of the auric field. So if you're wondering how to make decisions, it's different for each of the types. Obviously, most of us are generators, and that sacral response, which we were just talking about, and how valuable it is for everybody if as generators we're correct in our frequency. So that's what I wanted to have a room Wednesday at 11. So just follow me on Clubhouse, and I'll open that room.
I'll go subscribe to your notifications on Clubhouse right now. I'm incredibly excited to be part of the audience and listening to that. This is my jam, and then we can decide when we want to go live on your channel. Again, whatever you want, you tell me, and I'll make room for it.
All right.
But again, I'm super excited. Well, it doesn't matter. We can
let's take just 3 breaths together. Three breaths. You want to? So inhale belly, all middle, all the way up to the clavicles. Inhale. And then empty the container, top clavicles, midsection, all the way down to that lower place. And then you could even put your hands on your belly, and we're going to do 2 more just like that. Inhale belly, middle, ribs, clavicles, and then let it out. Empty the container. Nice and slow and generous. Let it all go. Woo! And then repeat. Last one. Inhale, belly, middle, upper, And then the satisfaction of just letting it out through your mouth. Let it go. Exhale.
Wow. You know, breath work is something that you actually teach and train on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Teacher train. Yoga teacher train. Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard the cues to do it like that, but I mean, I know how to do the breathing, but even with the cues, to be able to follow the breath up and really stay in tune with it, like, girl, let's go. I'm excited.
I told that night. Yay.
I appreciate so much, guys. Mark, following, yeah, definitely make sure you guys hit her face right here and go follow her on Instagram. And we are going to be dropping you guys some live content on grabbing this in another part 2 episode. Otherwise, if you guys are available February 3rd at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, come with me, hop in Stream and look for some more. Thank you so much.
All right.
I really appreciate
Thank you, Marshall. Oh, good. I love that clearing. Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys, I am not sure if you were able to hear all of that, but it was pretty powerful. Such a clearing for Marshall, and I will, catch up with him next week, and we'll do a whole actual reading, which is right here, his chart. I hope you were able to hear him, but again, he had this profound away. So sorry, something happened. I'm back. So you could see right in that moment where his voice was quivering, that he discovered what power lies inside with the sacral. So we will share the rest of his story next week. So thanks for watching. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.